Black First family, welcome to another episode of FTC. We got something for you all this evening. First off, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for liking. I hope that you guys subscribed. And if you are, thank you for that. As foundational Black Americans, as you can see right here, as foundational Black Americans, you know, we always got to rep it. We got to rep it, okay? It's got to stay represented, all right? There's a lot of flack that we get. It's a whole lot of flack that we get. It's a whole lot of pushback and all that we get for really no reason whatsoever, to be very honest with you, to be very clear with you, okay? The fact that we demand any bit of respect, the fact that we demand reciprocity for all we've done for other people and for the world is seen as xenophobic. Now, we've been talking about the situation with Tyla for the last couple of days. And the thing is that I'm going to say this, and I'm going to let Zizi give her opinion. I'm sure it's pretty much the same. The thing is that nobody hates Tyla. I don't. Do I hate her? No. She's what, a 20-some-year-old girl or whatever. She had some mistakes. Okay. Am I praying on her downfall? No, I'm not. Nobody is praying on her downfall. Nobody wants her to fumble or whatever the case is. What we are doing, what I'm doing, is I'm calling out the mistakes that have been made. Because these are mistakes that have been made. And these are mistakes that we've been telling people, because right now, foundational Black Americans, we don't have the same level of tolerance for disrespect that everybody is used to. So when we tell people like, hey man, you on your last straw, you on thin ice, hey man, calm that down. If they don't want to do it, the consequences happen, they happen. So right now we're calling out the build up of situations and the consequence of not learning from the culture, okay, not reading the room. So that's what we're doing here. This is not no xenophobic, ha ha ha, we got you. This isn't that. I'm sure you feel the same way, Zizi.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely no hatred towards Tyla or anything of that sort. We do understand that it's number one, that it's not just her. Okay. She does have a team. She has a PR team, a handler, you know, people to tell her how to market herself, things of that nature. So although the responsibility, the fault does come back on her because it's her brand, a lot of the, you know, of who's to blame is also the people behind her. You know what I'm saying? She is a foreigner who is not from this country. And I'm sure there's at least somebody who's familiar with American culture on her team, you know, because they brought her she's signed to an American label. So I'm sure somebody ahead of her could have told her or forewarned her about some of the things that she was about to get herself into when it comes to interacting with Black American culture specifically. So yeah, you know, we don't just put we understand that it's a machine behind her. But we still have to, like you said, we got to call out the nonsense. We're not tolerating the disrespect, you know, regardless of if you're young or whatever the case. Like, even if you're young, baby, you know, you got to be held accountable. We was on that too. So yeah, you know, let's just say it's what it is. You know, she can come out and still maybe save herself, possibly, hopefully. I'm not going to even say hopefully. Honestly, I'm not interested in it, but some of us may still be interested in hearing her out at this point. But she would definitely have to hold herself accountable and correct some of her past actions.
Yeah. Nobody's really checking, or at least as far as I know, I don't know anybody who's really checking for her. But the thing is, it's not doom, and that's what we keep saying. Like, you know, with the way things are going, if it continues to go down this path, then it will be. But as of right now, there's a chance where you can get your act together. Okay, but the problem is more than just Tyla. The problem is that you have a whole bunch of rebellious tethers who are trying to turn Tyla into a point. They want to prove a point with Tyla. That's the thing that we've been saying. Like, you know what, her fan base being all toxic and being all this and that doesn't make sense for an artist who's as new as she is. It would be one thing, like, when you have toxic fan bases, which you do, of Beyonce, of Nicki Minaj, of Rihanna, of so on and so forth. These artists have been out for years, decades. Okay, they got about a good 2 decades as of right now in the game. okay, with several albums, several awards, several singles and mixtapes and features. She doesn't have that. So for her audience or for her fan base to be as toxic as their fan base, and she's just gotten the game, there has to be another reason for that. So the reason, what we're saying, the reason for that is because you have a bunch of tethers who are trying to prove a point. And they're trying to be all like, well, you know what, FBA, we don't got to do anything that you guys want us to do. This is our house just as much as it is your house. Okay, we've actually heard somebody say that. That they don't have to follow 9.
Yeah, they do, but that's we see that sense of entitlement across. It happens like it's kind of weird. I'm not going to say it's kind of weird, but I'm going to say it's divinely timed that we're seeing the exposure of these patterns and how they do this in every space that they're in. Okay, because we're talking about Tyla, who's in the music industry, but even with the African boycott that we're, I'm saying, or the immigrant boycott that we're participating in right now this month of August. The major problem was, even though you had some of these African braiding shops who were not necessarily problematic, even some, or one in particular who came out and did a whole apology video, the multitude of tethers in the comments, okay, the multitude of people who stitched videos telling people like, look, yeah, we don't care about those avocados, we don't care about, if they want to boycott, then let them. We're going to do bad all about by ourselves. That, you know what I'm saying? Like that lack of appreciation for the value we bring to them, the value we bring to their businesses. The value of our culture that they participate in. There's a lacking of appreciation and gratitude there. And so we see that play out. In these situations when we're finally trying to hold people accountable or check people, and then it's like, oh well, no, well, what do you mean you can't check me because this is just as my space as it is yours? And it's like, then it's like, oh, okay, well that's why you've came to this level of disrespect, because you think that we're equal, we're on a social level, that we are the same on this land, and that's not the case. You are not contributing, you're not innovating. You don't have the same ancestors that shed the blood as me. So yeah, but that's something that a lot of us are finding out now in an egregious way, unfortunately. But yeah, that's absolutely what's happening though. It's way too many of them.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right about that. So they're starting to tell the truth. They're starting to tell the truth, and then when we say something, they're playing dumb about it. That was a really good way of putting that.
Thank you.
Let me get to some of the videos, because on TikTok, the situation is blowing up.
For real.
It's blowing up on TikTok.
It is.
Now, before we do that, I want to play the copyright disclaimer, because I want to give you guys a good reminder of what rubbed people the wrong way. Okay? Because, I keep saying, it was less about the word colored, and it was more about the lack of concern with how we viewed it. That was, I think, the bigger offense. Was that it doesn't matter if it bothers you, I'm okay with it. That was the thing that made people become offended, okay, and rub people the wrong way. But let me play this just so we can protect the channel. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay. This is the infamous clip, right? This right here.
On these debates that they be having about your identity for African, having a school me on these debates that they be having about your identity as a South African colored person. What does that even mean?
Can we not? Por favor.
Oh, I like that. We keeping that in the interview too. I like when they talk from the back and say we can't. I like that. That's good. That's even better.
Next one, please.
That's even better.
You're stupid, yo.
Did you see?
Okay. Oh, okay, damn.
I'm waiting. Egregious though. Outrageous.
Live over, guys. Goodbye.
No,
but yeah, that's what a lot of people was like. Hey, that was the wrong way to handle that.
Yeah, that was a terrible look. Even her looking back, like that was hella. It's just so like I understand her being young, her being non-American, you know, so her not understanding again the relation to the word color that we have, but it's really not that hard. Like to communicate that. It just would have been so simple for her to just answer the question. Hey, you know, in South Africa, our classifications of color, this, that, and that is like this. So that's why I identify as this. But I understand when I come to America, y'all classifications are such and such. So I understand, like it would have been an easy, like smoothing over, you know, had she just understood that she was coming from a different perspective than we were, you know what I'm saying, and that she was still trying to make it clear that she was still trying to understand the perspective that we have. That's like, okay, you got some learning to do, you don't understand, that's fine if you truly feel like that. But I think it also exposes that, because it's crazy because so many of these trolls, when they come up on our live, their main thing is, oh well, you know, these non-FBAs aren't hateful. They're just ignorant. They just don't know about and they just don't. So like it shows this disingenuous, because if it was really just ignorance, then it would just be ignorance. Ignorance is not afraid to just say, hey, I didn't know that. Sorry, y'all. That's not, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's not just ignorance. It's the fact that you have a level of anti-Black vitriol. That's what it is. And you having to say your honest perspective on something like that, the word colored and what Black Americans went through and why the word differs here, exposes your vitriol for us. Because you're going to have to say, I don't give a damn about that. I'm going to be colored whether them niggas want me to be colored or not. I'm not Black. So that's how you really feel. But you don't want to say that. So you do the PR version with the look back, and you got your weak ass handler back there like, oh no, can we just go to the next one? Even when Charlamagne is like, okay, he's not telling you to answer the question. He's just like, okay, well, do you have anything to say? Like something? She just looks back like, oh, get this Negro. He's still talking to me, handler. Get him. You know, so it shows that uppity East African that you claim to be. That's who you think you are. That's who you want to be.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because I want to just pause it real quick.
Kevin Hart,
when we talk about that, the fact that after he asked that
colored person, what does that even mean?
And then you didn't see any reaction, not a sound or anything, and then it was just a straight up looking back, like, y'all gonna let him say that? Y'all gonna let him, like, that gives a very uppity attitude. Right. This is some of the things that people are saying. You're acting, that was a very rude and snobbish way to respond to a question in an interview. Exactly. You looking back at your handlers like that. Okay. That's not an appropriate way. That comes off very disrespectful. It comes off very snobbish. That is the reality. If anybody did that, where they were asked a question and then they looked all the way back for the damn handler or manager and it didn't even say anything, let the manager speak for them. Right. You know, the manager's all the way on the back seat speaking to Charlamagne twice. Did it twice. You know what I'm saying? That is going to make people look like, hey, you know what? Hold on, maybe there's some you got going on. Like, how do you really feel now? Right. Okay. So she did, and I will put this out there. Afterwards, and this was afterwards, she did say something that cleared this up. Right. Now look, this was after how's the thing? Come on down. All right, this is after the Charlamagne situation. I'm going to play this right here. Okay. Take this back. Make sure the volume is up, because sometimes on TikTok, the volume gets to be low.
In South Africa, my race is called colored. And it's a very stressful term to use in America because I know it's a derogatory term. Right. But, I mean, that's what we are called. Right. In South Africa.
Okay. Not once. That was so easy. That was such an easy fix. And if she would have said that on the Breakfast Club, it would have been that, and it would have been over.
It would have been that.
It
But
would
she
have been
won't
that.
do
But she wasted, and that was because she got a lot of backlash from the Breakfast Club for avoiding that. So then she goes on
Yeah.
another interview, and then she's all like, "Oh yeah, I'm called this, but I understand it's offensive." After she's getting drugged for it, but at that point, the damage is already done. At that point,
And
because you already put an image in somebody's head of you.
Exactly. And that has a lot to do with how people received her as well. That just that interview alone as well, that interaction. Because especially for foundational Black Americans, when you think about our greatest artists, they know how to handle themselves in interviews. Okay. Our best artists, they're not Beyonce does not have an interview where she's looking off to the side to see if she should answer a question or not. That's not she's going to sit there. She's not going, she doesn't think that the answer is, the question is appropriate, or she doesn't have an appropriate answer. She's going to say that. Okay. Whitney Houston, she was on point. I don't know if you ever seen a clip of her on Wendy Williams' show, but she was saying all types of shit about that girl. Okay. And she addressed her straight up front. Okay. So we know how to, discuss things that are, a little bit more taboo. We're trained to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if her team didn't want to take the time out, or she didn't want to take the time out to understand what she needed to do in order for this to go over better, then that's on you. It is what it is. But we already know that there should be no excuse for you doing something like that in an interview. That just looks crazy.
Yeah, it's a bad look. It's a bad look. It's a very bad look. But now you got some people, and then let's go there. Now you got some people who are attacking us in her defense. So we're gonna respond to what some of these tethers have to say.
Once in that video, did Tyla expect Black Americans to refer to her as colored? All she did in that video is just let you know that in her culture, this is what she's referred to, respectfully too. And also considering, she was very considerate. She mentioned that that word is a funny word in America, but yet Black America.
Man, what the hell? Okay, hold on. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay. Technical issues, y'all. I don't know what. Okay. All right, let's get back to it now.
In South Africa, my race.
Okay. All right. That's never happened before.
Not for real.
And it's a stressful term to use in America because I know it's a derogatory term, but that's what we are called.
Not once in that video did Tyla expect Black Americans to refer to her as colored. All she did in that video is just let you know that in her culture, this is what she's referred to, respectfully too. And also considering, she was very considerate. She mentioned that that word is a funny word in America, but yet Black Americans have ran with this and have made it something that it's not. We have been forced as Africans to learn about American history, Black American history. We have been forced to educate ourselves on slavery in your country, okay? In schools, on social media, we have had no choice. So we know about your history. We learn about your history. But you guys don't know anything about us. And this goes to show that you're not even willing to learn. You call yourself African, but you know nothing about us. And when we try to educate you, you throw it in our faces and you take complete offense to it. Nobody's saying that you should refer to yourself as colored, or that Tyler is expecting you to refer to her as colored, or that any of us are expecting you to refer to any of us as colored. I'm not colored, firstly, I'm Black. But you'll never know. You'll assume that I am maybe sometimes. In South Africa, they would assume that I am sometimes. But I will say, no, I'm Black. And the conversation ends there because we know our history. It's not only South Africa that uses the term. They use it in Namibia. They use it in Mozambique. They use it in Angola. Have you ever heard mulatto? It's the same thing. There is an artist called Mulatto who had to change her name to Lato. Why? Because Black Americans were offended of African culture and language. So now we had to conform to your ways once again, because you guys don't respect our culture and our language, and you're not taking the time just to educate yourself a little bit on our history and on our culture. And that's all we are asking of you. Nobody's being disrespectful. We are just asking you to educate yourself on our history the way we've had to be forced to educate ourselves on yours. And this is your history too. That's the thing. You refer to yourself as African American, as Black American. This is your history too. Please, it's not a joke. It's not funny anymore. We're being xenophobic. We're being racist towards one another. We are insulting each other when there's bigger things happening. Sudan is at war. Congo is at war. Our people are dying. We should be united. This is not the time. This is not the time.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we're the problem. Okay. And our problem is that they know about us and we don't know about them. It's easy to talk to them. What do you think?
I got tether fatigue, yo. This is insane. This is insane. Why do they lie so bad? Yo, that's insane the way they be lying like that. What are you talking about? Like, first of all, ain't nobody forcing y'all to learn American history. The only reason y'all getting forced to learn American history is because your asses is fleeing over here. Okay, that's just a part of the American standard. Yes, you're going to learn about the country you fled to. So what are you talking about? Anybody over here making you just learn about Black American history like that? It's not happening. Okay. Number two, the fact that she is again lying, talking about, oh well, Black Americans just want to we're acting like they're trying to force us to identify her as color. That's not what the issue is. The issue is the lack of recognition of how our term, of us using that term, differs, and the historical attachment to that word that we have. So that it's not. It's like she tried to Uno reverse that. Like, oh well, yeah, y'all just don't know our history. And it's really, the problem is, literally, we've been saying it's the other way around. Y'all don't know our history. The problem is we understand y'all. We supported y'all in apartheid, okay? We supported y'all. Historically, we did. So the fact that y'all are coming over here with this lack of respect and understanding and then trying to have this entitled attitude and act like, oh, well, I don't have to recognize you Negroes. I can make it without you. Or I can say little slick words, because let's not act like it was just the color thing. It was also the little slick lyrics and the stuff that she did with certain Black celebrities on stage, holding awards, all this other weird shit she doing. You're doing all of that to compile this problem that FBAs are having with you. Okay. If it was just the color thing, again, that little snippet of that interview that she just did would have been the end of that. But these tethers love to lie so bad and victimize. It's funny. Again, they just project so much because they love to say that we're the ones that love to victimize ourselves so much. We're the victims. We love to play the victim Olympics. But when it comes to holding anybody accountable, when it comes to exposing the anti-Black American vitriol, it's always the other way around. It's always, well, no, we're the victim. You guys don't understand our culture. We have a certain way of doing things, and you just need to understand that. But it doesn't ever go the other way. Lotto didn't have to change her name because she was using an African term and we just didn't understand it. It's because mulatto, specifically here, was a derogatory term. That is something that we were not proud to be labeled as. That was like a marker of like a stain on a white dress. You're not white all the way, mulatto. There you go. That was not something to be proud of. Not to say that they wasn't doing that in other countries in Africa, But that ain't the same as over here. But again, she doesn't want to address that because she don't give a damn about that. She wants to put on this front like if the problem is the other way around, and we know for a fact at this point that the problem has always been that way coming this way, not the other way around. We don't have the same issues. We don't have the same amount of vitriol, xenophobia, and anti-blackness as these people do that come from outside the country. Clearly, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I second that. Speaking of the thing with mulatto, right? If I'm correct, I'm not sure too much, but if I'm correct, her father, that's the black parent, her father is FBA.
Yeah.
Her father is not African. So
Yeah.
she's trying to make it seem like, yeah, y'all are offended by African culture. And you're talking about us being ignorant, not knowing that the word mulatto is already in America. That's not an African word that came from Africa. It's not your history. We have the history with the word mulatto. And the word mulatto in this country is offensive. Okay. It's not something that, like you said, should be proud of. You shouldn't. I mean, what type of PR would you think to name yourself mulatto?
Yeah.
That's bad, and it rubbed people the wrong way. And what you're saying is that we should learn your culture because we should accept the fact that y'all rub us the wrong way. But no, it goes the other way around. When you come here, you need to learn here. It's not Tyla educating us, it's us educating her. When you come here, this is the custom that you have to conform to. The same way, if we went to South Africa and whatever, we would have to conform to whatever they say. If we say, hey, colored is a bad word, if they say, no, it's not, then it's not over there. Okay? Because different things in different regions is offensive, and in other regions is not offensive. Okay? Right. And you have to understand that. And it's a bunch of gaslighting about that. It's a bunch of gaslighting. Let me show you something else. I mean, they're making crazy comparisons. They're making extremely crazy comparisons right now.
Show you a comment that came from a video regarding how Tyla has been treated in the United States, and that there's this expectation that her identity should be gentrified in order to make herself palatable to Black Americans. And quite frankly, the comment section is exactly what I expected. So a little background information on me and why I am qualified to speak on this topic is I am first generation American. My parents came from the Caribbean, so I am Afro-Caribbean. That's what I check when I am filling out my information on the census. That I check other when it comes to ethnicity, but when it comes to race, I check off Black, period, point blank. And I see the gaslighting. I've been gaslit growing up. This is why I don't share aspects of my family's culture. I don't post a flag. I do not speak my mother's native tongue on social media. It's not happening, right? Because I share the same sentiments in regards to the gentrification and the cultural appropriation within the diaspora. I've seen the gaslighting. I've seen the invalidation. I've seen the dismissal. People want to sit there and say that diaspora war is so unnecessary, but it is very much an issue. I wouldn't say it's necessary, but it's an issue. Because when you listen to it from the Black American side, it's like, oh, we're all the same. It doesn't matter. Yes, the fuck it does matter. When you look at it from I'm going to use the term my friend says, the worldly Blacks, right? Black people from other aspects of the world. It's insulting. It's extremely insulting how you want to cherry pick aspects of the culture, make it your own, appropriate it. And then what makes it so fucking insulting is how you would tease and bully people from that culture. And I'll never forget this one social justice creator was like, oh, you being called an African booty scratcher 20 years ago, you need to get over it. Wow. But when I heard that, I was like, wow, you really are using white supremacist, racist rhetoric on your fellow Black folks who are outside of the diaspora. You really are using the same white supremacy talking points of, oh, because you were called an African booty scratcher 20 years ago in third grade to get over it. How would you like it if members of the diaspora says slavery was over 150
Oh
years
my
ago?
God.
You need to get over it.
Oh
The
my
Tulsa
God.
massacre was 100 years ago. You need to get over it. You use an excuse of how everything was burned down over 100 years ago because of your failure to build infrastructure in your own community. You need to get over it. You see how fucked up that sounds? But when British, Caribbean, African, Hispanic
Whew.
are bringing up legitimate issues, you ignore, you invalidate, and you gaslight them. The fact that y'all have the gall and the audacity to try to center yourself when it comes
No,
to
please.
Black
Please,
issues
no more.
is
Please. She
crazy
got a whole
and
nother minute
nonsense.
left. Please. I can't take it. I can't fucking take it. I can't take it. Oh my God. That shit was absolutely outrageous, egregious, everything between. Are you for real? That's insane. Did she just compare African booty scratcher to slavery, nigga? These people are insane. That is crazy. The level of projection has to be studied. Because for you to get up here and act like we are the ones, first of all, we not the ones. We are the ones that say, yeah, we all Black. But not in the context of which that she was trying to, in the way that she was trying to say that, that's something that tethers and non-FBA do because y'all want to latch on to our culture. What the fuck are we getting from South African culture? What do we get from Tyla? Tyla came over here looking like a Black woman, taking inspirations from Aaliyah and Beyonce, etc., Black American artists. What the fuck are we getting from South Africa? What are we talking about? We're not going over there and say, oh yeah, we could wear head wraps and do these sorts of dances and eat fufu and eat a goosey because we all Black. This all Black culture. We're not doing that. We're not fighting to go to no damn Caribbean to pick up no damn red snapper and fucking rum and act like we that's something that's a part of our culture we take part in regularly. No, we're not doing that. That's something that y'all do. That's a projection. That's a projection. That's something that y'all do to us. And the fact that you could get your first generation ass up on that couch and lie like that and act like and try to make this false equivalency like us saying a term like African booty scratcher, which again, can we debunk the lies? Nigga, we all were called that. That's not something exclusive for Africans. Caribbeans get called it too. So do Americans. And the niggas in the UK. Everybody can get called that. What are we talking about? You're going to sit up here and try to weigh that against slavery? Against what happened in Tulsa? And then you want to say that we don't got no knowledge of what's going on in your land? We don't have no knowledge of your history? But you're comparing this made-up ass, weak-ass, meaningless, valueless term, African booty scratcher, against something that actually happened to our ancestors to get our ancestors slaughtered? But we're the ones who's culturally insensitive? These people are fucking nuts. These people are crazy. That's literally, that's a white supremacist logic. That's damn near, I'm white and I say so. You niggas is xenophobic because I said so. So yeah, deal with it, nigga. Like that's essentially what she just said. There was nothing in which, at any part of that bullshit ass rant that she just had that backed up any part of her points that she was trying to make. Nothing. What are you talking about? Tulsa for African booty scratcher? Yes, get the fuck over it. I said it. Get over it. I don't know who else said it, but yeah, get over it, nigga. Yeah, and I still call you stupid ass African.
What I find very interesting is that when they come over here and they complain that African, like let them tell it. Let them tell it. They were chased home every single day under the threat of death and lynching from Black Americans. Okay, let them tell it. Okay, we were out there just assassinating them. Okay, we was out there just doing the absolute worst things imaginable to them. But you know what I don't hear, ZZ, into the audience? What I don't hear is them complain about how white people treated them. That's something that I do not hear. I don't hear them say, well, white people did this to me. White people said this to me. White people said this to me. The only people that you hear them complain about are Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. Those we apparently let them all tell it. Listen, let them all tell it because they all have the same story. It doesn't matter if you're a Caribbean or African, where you went to school, when you went to school, how old you were called an African booty scratcher, apparently. And it was just you. And you were only called an African booty scratcher by Black Americans, and you didn't say nothing. They make it seem like they were all like, hey guys, you want to be friendly? We're like, oh no, not you African booty scratcher.
Right.
No. Okay. Right. Nobody was like that to them. But let them tell it. We were throwing sticks and stones at them, and they don't have that same complaint or that same anger towards white people. Okay, they don't. The whole, oh, y'all need to get over it, and the very disrespectful comparison. This lets us know how you guys view slavery as something so minuscule. It can be compared to being insulted in middle school.
Right.
Okay. This lets you guys know how it's not that big of a deal. And a lot of y'all do say that. Truth be told, a lot of y'all do say we need to get over slavery. Okay. You got the Akons over here who say that. You got the Myron Gaines who come from Africa. You do have folks from Africa who come over here and say that. And the Caribbean who come over here and say that. So we're not going to make it seem like, hey, guys, we've been on your side the whole time. Why y'all flipping on us? No. Y'all have everything that you guys are saying you're not doing or have not been saying, you have been doing and you have been saying. And we have not said anything that is the equivalent to what you guys are saying. And to be totally honest, this African booty scratcher thing, everybody and their mama is claiming that they were called the African booty scratcher. It's very difficult to believe that.
Exactly. Please. It was not that popular for our generation. It got less and less popular each generation. This generation go back. We was not saying that shit like that. Not in high school, for sure.
But a lot of people are asking about what the situation is when it comes to because I want you to understand this is not just about Tyla. This is about the whole thing when it comes to being upset. The diaspora wars. Okay.
African Americans being
so we're gonna play this.
African Americans being would be referred to as colored.
That was the longest one, so we ain't got to go through no longer like that.
African Americans being upset that Tyla would be referred to as colored is very similar to when white people get upset that Black people have reclaimed the N-word and be saying it. And she has addressed it and said that in America she would be considered Black. In South Africa, she's considered colored because colored is an entire ethnic group with like history behind it and like culture and stuff. And it's not as if she was coming here and calling other people colored because we know that it's derogatory here, but race is a social construct. So depending on the society you're in, it's going to be something else. I think a lot of the hate that I'm seeing is rooted in xenophobia and the fact that Tyla dares to be a diva and isn't acting as whatever you think an African should act like, which is not to say that there's no xenophobia coming from the other side, because I see xenophobia all over the diaspora, and it's definitely coming out when people are coming to defend Tyla, which is absolutely wrong. And I'm always going to be the first one to tell you, Black American influence around the world is undeniable. I'm Ghanaian, born and raised in America. There's no denying that. But to say that she has to apologize and she has to conform to our society to be accepted doesn't make sense, because this is America. Everyone retains their own culture in one way or another. African Americans being upset.
Okay, so that's that. I just want to, and I'm starting to see a lot of people say this now too. A lot of people are like, oh, well, why does colored offend you, but the N-word doesn't offend you? The N-word, that's like them saying something about, and I'm seeing a lot of comparisons about the N-word. Listen, first off, foundational Black Americans are not a monolith. So we have different stances on the N-word. Okay. So you will have some people who don't like the N-word, even if another FBA says the N-word. Okay. So there's different, and there has always been an ongoing conversation about the N-word because we don't have one unified stance on it. Even though we can understand that if a Black person says it is different from if a white person says it, Okay, we generally get that, but even among us saying it to each other, there's still a dialogue about that.
Yeah.
All right. And to say, oh, well, that's like white people getting upset. No, it's not. Because white people have used that word and the word colored to subjugate and to reinforce the subjugation of a group of people.
Right.
And when you're coming out here and we were just informing you that over here in this land, that word has been used to subjugate a group of people. Okay. Nobody is trying to tell you to be black. Nobody's trying to make you black. Okay. You don't want to be black. Cool. All right. Even though that's not how you were being marketed, but cool. The thing is that what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna sit up there and ignore. All she had to do was do what she did in that other video. Just acknowledge the fact that it's a sensitive term and acknowledge that she means no disrespect. Okay, just check in, essentially.
Right, exactly. But she doesn't want it, and that's why I'm like, I knew that girl was not an FBA before she even said it in the video. I could tell. But yeah, that's why I'm like, there's no pretending. Like this was so clearly, and I'm glad that this was done. All of the proof is in the pudding. All of the proof is on the internet or online somewhere. It's somewhere in media. There's interviews. It was so plainly put that she really buried herself. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like the main issue, that color thing, the thing that sparked the rest of the issues, that was like a domino effect. It could have been avoided. Like, you know, it could have easily been avoided. We understand the cultural significance in differences in both of our cultures. We understand that. The problem is that she does not. That's what it is. And the only way for them to get away with trying to act like Black Americans are the ones that are in the wrong here, or acting like we're trying to victimize ourselves or whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever narrative they're trying to spin this as, is to make it seem like we're trying to get her to conform to our standards, and that's not the case. We just need you to be honest about what's, you know what I'm saying, what you really are and how you really identify, and how that identity differs from ours, okay? Because you're not going to come over here and try to cosplay or act like, or, you know what I'm saying, use the imagery of Black women to try to connect to us, but then turn around and say, oh no, I know Black. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not. So yeah, she's doing the same thing the last girl was doing, more subtly, but yeah, it's still the same. It's not, you're not about to shift blame to the side. That's not how it's about to work.
Yeah, it's not. And this, because the thing is more than about Tyla. This is about a bigger conversation of them trying to put the jacket of xenophobia on us. All right.
Exactly.
Because they're using the whole thing with Essence. Every single thing they're doing, they're trying to put the jacket of, man, y'all just don't like Africans. Anytime we make a complaint about them, they try to delegitimize the complaint and say, well, it's just rooted in quote unquote xenophobia. That's what they say. Yep. All right.
I'm gonna just air out all my frustration in this one video so I don't have to respond to comments anymore. But I feel like the xenophobia that Africans have been experiencing at the hand of African Americans have been going on for way too long. And if y'all memory is short and you want to come here and say that never happened, let me remind y'all. Since 2022, and I can remember this vividly, I can remember making videos back when it was still pandemic times.
I don't know why that keeps happening. My fault, y'all. I'm not sure why that keeps happening. Hold on. This happened before. Okay, hold on. Let me see something. Refresh the screen.
I'm gonna just air out all my frustration in this one video so I don't have to respond to comments anymore. But I feel like the xenophobia that Africans have been experiencing at the hand of African Americans have been going on for way too long. And if y'all memory is short and you want to come here and say that never happened, let me remind y'all. Since 2022, and I can remember this vividly, I can remember making videos back when it was still pandemic times, defending Africans, because you guys were the same people that made it a trend to go to Nigerian shops, buy Nigerian food, label it as just African, like we're all a fucking monolith, right? label as just African food, spit it out on camera and say it tastes like dog food, it tastes disgusting, it's this, it's that, and it's that. And that trend has been coming back every other year. Y'all decide to bring back this trend of eating African food and spitting it out on camera and making disgusting comments about it. Let me not even go too far. Just last month, a lot of you were trying to band up together to boycott African shops in America, to the point that I seen a video of an African lady that owns a braiding shop crying on TikTok, begging out not to boycott her shop because that's how she keeps the lights on at night. And this was not a case specific thing that you guys were boycotting a specific business that has been having problems for a while, or that has had bad customer service, or you've had a bad experience with this specific place. You guys wanted to boycott everything that had African in it, from food shops down to braiding hair shops, down to corner shops, everything, because the xenophobia is just that strong. So many videos that I've seen of you guys calling us everything but a child of God. And now with this Tyla situation, y'all continue. And it's not even just South Africans that y'all talk about. Y'all talk about all Africans. And let me not even go too far. Just this year alone, the Zulu parade. Y'all remember that? Because I remember vividly seeing that, and it made me uncomfortable. And I'm not even Zulu. And it made me uncomfortable because it clearly looked like a caricature of someone else's culture. It clearly looked like a menstrual show. It literally looked like that, down to the makeup, down to how dark the makeup was on the face, everything. It literally gave mockery. Nothing about that gave real, nothing about it. And understandably so, the actual Zulu people came to y'all and let y'all know that, hey, this is actually a mockery of our culture. What did you guys say and do in that exact moment? You told every single one of them that had something to say to what? Shut up. Why? Because it's been part of American culture for so long. This is how Americans do things. You can't come to America and tell New Orleans people that they can't do this, they can't do that, because we're Americans and this is our culture and you can't tell us what to do. But now that an African woman identifies as something that may not make sense to you because you're American and your racial construct system is completely different to the ones they have in South Africa. Now y'all want to say she's being disrespectful, she's being arrogant, but y'all was so arrogant and so disrespectful when the Zulu people came and said, hey, this is a mockery of our culture, the culture that we live and breathe every single day. Y'all are making fun of it by dressing up, by continuously doing these parades. It would be in the benefit of everybody if we didn't do this. What did y'all say? Oh, okay.
All right. Hold on.
Lord.
Okay. So, like I keep saying to you guys, this is a bigger issue than about Tyla, because they're looking at this like, oh my God, look at the xenophobia. They're saying that this is a buildup of all of the other incidents that we've been having with the diaspora for the last couple years or so. All right. Let me remind you guys exactly how they responded, because it wasn't we just wanted to educate you guys when it came to the Zulu parade. No, that's not how they acted. That's not how they responded when it came to Zulu. Let me remind you guys exactly what they was on when it came to Zulu. All right. Oh, hold on. I'm clicking off the thing. Okay. This is it. When they found it. Now, just to keep this in mind, Zulu has been going on for generations. Okay. This is about Mardi Gras. To be honest, this Mardi Gras parade is just named Zulu. It's not about Zulu. Okay. They don't know this because this is only in New Orleans. That's it. Okay. But after they found out about that, here they go saying, here's an idea. Let's do our own I'm a nigger parade, or maybe just rebrand Cotton Fest to Cotton Picking Fest. I'll bring the cotton if y'all bring the whips. You see the South African flag up there? Okay. Great. Okay, another one. Black Americans are the worst version of black people there is. Okay. Here's another one. I watched Harry, which was the movie, okay, with Cynthia Erivo. I watched Harriet last week and felt bad for Black Americans. I take my feelings back. Okay, so we're not going to sit up there and be all like, oh, we tried to do is educate you guys politely. No, y'all was incredibly disrespectful. And y'all took the whole thing with Zulu to a level it did not need to go. Y'all were the ones who were the villains with the whole Zulu debacle or whatever the case is, not understanding our history. Y'all came over here, found something new, and then got offended about it because a lot of y'all are just that insecure. And everything is about you guys, honestly. Think that African booty scratcher is about you guys. Think that the Zulu parade is about you guys. They think that everything is about them.
Yeah, they want to center themselves in everything but accountability. Don't want to look at the mirror, because just like how she ignored the fact of how the South Africans were coming for foundational Black Americans over the whole Zulu thing, it's just like how she left out why Black Americans are boycotting African braiding shops. Okay, she want to get up here and say, oh yeah, well, you have African braiding shop owners come up here and apologizing because y'all are bullying what? We're bullying shops? How are we bullying your shops? And we're the main reason why your shops are open. We're giving you business. But we're bullying you guys? That doesn't, I mean, it doesn't even, that's contradictory. It doesn't even make sense. Honestly, it literally doesn't make sense for you to say those two things in the same sentence. So she wouldn't be coming out and apologizing to us if we weren't supporting her business. That wouldn't make sense. We're not going to bully her into an apology. No, doesn't make sense. So yeah, they love to leave out those things to deflect from their part in the mess that has been made. You know, they want to put it all on foundational Black Americans, like we're the reasoning why, we're the only reason why we have these problems within the diaspora that we have now. We're facing these issues that we have now. We're having these conversations and these back and forths because of our attitude, and it's them. Okay, even with the whole African food thing, I remember that on TikTok, and the girl spitting out the food, it was kind of dramatic, but that was not to just go on all African food. I mean, the fact, again, they try to do this with the hair braiding thing too. Oh, well, you just named it African food, like there's not different. Okay, well, if you come here and you do a mukbang of burgers and fries and beignets and jambalaya and cheesecake and whatever the hell, and you just do American food, who cares? Like, it doesn't, even if you were to just go to one part of America, if you just go to Texas and try barbecue and you say trying American food, nobody's going to be offended. Nobody's going to say, hey, make sure you put Texas on that. Make sure you say you're trying American Southern food. Nobody's going to give a damn like that. One, because as Americans, culturally, we can identify where the food comes from anyways, regardless if you put it up there. You put a burger up there or barbecue or jambalaya, we're going to be, oh, that's some shit from New Orleans. That's something from Texas. Oh, that's something from, you got some crab from Maryland. We're going to be able to tell where the food came from anyways. You don't really got to tell us. All you got to do is label the nation. Okay, it's American. Got you. It's African. Got you. If we want to inquire further, we'll figure it out. Most of the times, again, even on the other side of that, they can identify their cultural foods. So if you got fufu or goosey or whatever, they can, oh, that's Nigerian. Oh, that's Ghanaian jollof. That's whatever. They'll usually know better than the person actually trying the damn food anyways. We might have just walked into it. We might have not even knew it was Ethiopian or Nigerian or Ghanaian. We might not even distinct it for real of where exactly what their specific ethnic background is, but we know this is African food. We looked up African food near me. This was one of the shops that popped up. It's popular, got good reviews, so we went there and we tried it. That's not that shouldn't be seen as offensive. Like, now again, y'all are doing the same thing you project on us and trying to make it seem like we're trying to play the victim Olympics when you are. You're you're victimizing yourself for no damn reason. That's not something that was even meant to be offensive. It's just they went and supported your community by buying your food. They didn't like it. Who cares? They didn't say all African food is terrible. Get over it.
It was a couple video, and yeah, that's the thing. Folks was doing that to a whole bunch of other stuff. And then I also saw there was a Caribbean version of that. And there was also an American version of the same thing. Don't center yourself. It was it was kind of cringy, to be honest. It was very dramatic and childish. We can say that. But the thing is that there were different versions of that. There was people doing that to Chinese food. There was people doing that to African food. It was people doing that to all different types of foreign foods. And people was like, oh, I don't know. Okay. They did it for the camera. That's not a reflection of the general relationship that we have with you guys. Okay. Or that we had with you guys, or our feelings towards you guys. All right. And another thing, I can't help but notice that you guys like to use African when it's convenient. Y'all will come because Tyla is South African. Y'all be Nigerian defending Tyla because it's all under the guise of defending Africa.
Right.
Okay. When y'all want to talk about we came from Africa, y'all don't give a place. Y'all don't give a country or a tribe. Y'all will just say Africa. So they can blatantly use Africa when it's convenient. And then when there's any type of pushback, criticism, or anything that is unfavorable said about them, they be all like, oh, Africa's not one country. Africa's a continent. There's 54 countries in Africa. So they kind of switch their argument depending on what's convenient for them, their narrative. All right. If you're trying Nigerian food, guess what? That is African food.
Yeah.
That is African food because Nigeria is in Africa. So you can just say this is African food. All right. That's the truth. I mean, even though what Tyla makes something, you know what she makes? She makes she makes that, right? She makes a certain type of South African music. That's African music. That is African. Okay. Y'all be trying to pick and choose when we can say African and then when we can't say African based off of y'all convenience. And no, y'all are trying to put it on us. Now, here's another thing. A lot of people are making the argument that, well, why don't y'all support your own artists like that? Why don't y'all support your own artists like that? Now, she came back because she got a lot of pushback from that video. She came back for some more smoke. She wanted more smoke. That same woman,
Lord,
wanted more smoke.
And since y'all wanted to piss me off, let's really wake it up. Let's really have a conversation now. I really do want to understand how a group of people, right, that doesn't even support their own artists, wants to sit on this app and every other app and claim that the reason why Tyler's mixtape or project, because it's not an album, get your facts right, flopped, is because the American audience doesn't fuck with Tyla anymore. Let me just refresh our memory in case y'all forgot. My thing is, Coco Jones, she's been out for how long? Mind you, she's a Disney star, so she should have been up there. If you guys had all this power, y'all would have catapulted this girl's career up to a level that none of us have ever seen before. Tinashe, the girl has been making music since I was a kid. 2-1 came out when I was a kid. She'd be making music since then, and her music is actually good. So it's not that she's not talented. She does have the talent. Y'all just don't support her. You guys wanted Chloe Bailey and Halle Bailey to separate so bad, and when they finally did, y'all trashed their music. Y'all said that they were better off staying together, even though y'all forced them to basically separate. Y'all still don't support them girls till today. Flo Milli, Normani, y'all beg Normani to drop music. She drops an album, flops because y'all don't stream music. We know that. Baby Tate, just to name a few. There's so many Black artists that are making music in America, good music at that y'all don't stream. Yet y'all spend all your time and energy hating on African artists that y'all apparently don't like and don't listen to. What? If you guys really had all this power, if you guys really do have all this power, I want you guys to make Victoria Monet is even out of the conversation a little bit because she just started getting recognition. But for her to get to this level of recognition, she's been putting in work for God knows how many years. And she just got a Grammy. And y'all mean to tell me that y'all are the same fan base that supports people? Okay. And another thing, before you guys got a hold of all our African artists, we were already streaming and listening to them. Y'all are the only people that are chart obsessed, and y'all are the only people that think that the charts determine how good of an artist you are, when the rest of the world knows that that's not how it works. We Africans enjoy music because it makes us feel good, it makes us dance, and it's a vibe. That's why we listen to music for. Before Burna Boy was known by any of y'all, he was already Burna Boy in our country, in our countries. In Nigeria, Congo, whatever place you go, best believe they probably most likely know this man. Before y'all knew about Wizkid, before Justin Bieber touched that track, we knew who Wizkid was. We've been listening and streaming and dancing to his music since we were kids. We grew up with him. Before y'all got a hold of Tyla, we knew about her already. So you guys don't discover shit. Y'all literally are the same as the colonizers that enslaved all of us. You guys come, try and be part of something, and once it doesn't fit your narrative in the slightest, y'all flip the script and demonize that thing, person, or place. Y'all need to change.
We the
And
problem
Sishan
again.
wanted to piss me off.
Oh. Let me say this and then I'm gonna let you say something, right? There are different. First off, when you take an artist that are and we talked about Chloe and Halle in our last podcast. Okay, we talked about that. All right. So there are different reasons why an artist might become successful or not. What we are trying to state is that, first off, none of the artists that she's mentioned, Chloe, Halle, Coco Jones, none of them had a super big hit like Water. Okay. Right. None of them were promoted on the level of Tyla. None of them. Okay. A lot of them, they were kind of doing a 50-50 when it comes to music, when it comes to acting. Tyla was just about the music. She won a Grammy, had a big thing, and she flopped. And all of the artists that she just named, Coco Jones, Normani, Chloe, all of them, their first week when they released an album did better than Tyla's first week.
They did.
Okay. So when y'all don't support nobody. No, what we were trying to tell you is that your attitude is alienating a demographic that you're going to need in order to have a successful career. That's what we're saying. Okay.
Exactly. But again, they don't want to bring that into context because our stars, like, let's just be real. First of all, you can't compare their stars to ours. Okay, she's talking about we knew about Tyla and Wizkid and Burna Boy. They were already those people in our country before they got here. Yeah, but the world didn't know them until they got here. Until Black America recognized them, that's when they became worldwide known. They became actual superstars. They became real celebrities. Is when Black America recognized them for their music. That's when they were there. The validation didn't come until we were put onto their music, period. It doesn't work the other way around. But Coco Jones don't got to be known in South Africa for her to be worldwide known, for her to have validation and go to different countries and travel. That's not the same. We're not looking for the validation over there. Y'all are checking for ours. So those of us that we prop up, the reason why you're a South African and you know about Victoria Monet is because of foundational Black Americans. Yeah. The reason why it's not taking a lot of these artists, or why some of these artists are taking so long and don't have the same amount of stardom as somebody as Tyler, like you said, they don't have the machine behind them. Coco Jones is a Disney star, but she's not a Disney star like Sabrina Carpenter. What are we talking about? You know, we also have the racial aspect here as well that y'all are not dealing with in South Africa. We have Disney stars. Look at some of the Black Disney stars and some of the white ones. Their trajectories were different for a reason. Coco Jones is not on the same level as Sabrina Carpenter, who's also a Disney star. She also wasn't on a show like Sabrina Carpenter. She was on a movie. Okay, she didn't have a show like Sabrina Carpenter. So their trajectories weren't the same anyways. Their level of popularity weren't the same. They weren't pushed the same. And so we still have those aspects even as they're big stars now. The machine the part of the machine that Coco has behind her is damn sure not the same as the one that Sabrina Carpenter has behind her. And they're both from Disney, or Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus. A lot of if you compare them to some of the white counterparts, they don't get nearly as much push as the white counterparts do, and their music ain't as happy.
Let's also add that Miley Cyrus is the daughter of Billy Ray Cyrus, who is also well known and on the same show. Just to put that in context.
And see, that's another layer as well, is that we don't have that nepotism. We don't have the connections that they have. So Coco Jones might be the literal only person in her family who made it off of Hollywood, made it in Hollywood. She could be the only connect. She could be the connect for her family, the one making the connects for her family. Sabrina Carpenter, Miley Cyrus, some of these white, and especially if we get into some of the small hats, I'm just saying, they have connections to the industry. It's not the same. So Saweetie is a rapper, and she has some connections. Like I think her father's in the industry. Gabrielle Union is her cousin, so she has some connections. But she's not a regular thing. That's not a regular thing for foundational Black Americans who come up. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, that it's not the same. To try to say it's to compare our artists with theirs, it's not the same. Y'all have to come here in order for y'all to get to that level of stardom that you're reaching for to become a Michael Jackson or Beyonce. You have to come here. We don't got to go there for that. Y'all are going to look over here and peek at what we're doing anyways to find out of who's coming up over here. Y'all gonna listen regardless because you're following our lead. So yeah, does she know what's up?
Yeah, that's true. And you also mentioned it. Coco is also an R&B singer, and that's a different music genre that the audience kind of gravitates to the artist differently when it comes to different music genres and stuff like that. And she's not doing bad either. People keep making it seem like she's a has-been or something. She's not doing bad. And the thing is that when you take somebody who's also acting part-time and they're filming TV shows and they're making music, their time and attention is split. Okay, if she was only to be focused on one thing, she would be a lot bigger in that one category, which she might branch out and do after Bel Air or whatever, or her acting thing is over, or she might stick to that. Who knows? But it's not over for her. And the biggest difference is that it's a big difference with falling from grace and then never have been there. Okay. Because let's be honest, Tyla was put on a pedestal that none of the artists that she just named were ever put on, not even Chloe and Halle. Okay, they never were put on the pedestal that Tyla was put on. She was put on a crazy pedestal, and we saw that immediately fall from grace. All right, so she can't say, "Oh well, y'all don't do that to Coco Jones, y'all don't do that to Normani." Okay, well, Normani and Coco Jones didn't have the machine to pedestalize them like Tyla did. All right.
Exactly. And and even like you said too, Normani, she came from you said that on the live the other day. She came from Fifth Harmony. So I mean she came from a pop background, really a non-black audience is what she came up off of, for real. You know what I'm saying? So her going solo was her trying to gather or gain more of a black audience even within itself. So her not doing well for her first album kind of makes sense. Nobody was really, you know what I'm saying? Fifth Harmony wasn't a Black American group. It was mainly non-black women. You know what I'm saying, in the group. So that wasn't really something she was known. That wasn't something she was really known
because she hasn't been solo that long.
She hasn't, there hasn't been that long. She only has one album. So it's like, it's you know what I'm saying, it's different. And then she has some other things. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think I just heard something about, I don't want to say it and it's wrong and put that on her, but I think she just lost a family member or something, and she was going through something for a few months with
she did. I think lost her mother, I think it was.
Exactly. So so she's, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of different reasoning, a lot of things that go on behind the scenes on why an artist isn't as big as or what you think they should be, and real quick, I wanted to bring this up too, because not only that, a lot of within foundational Black American culture, it is, well, let me say this, it's a part of our culture to call out the nonsense, okay, or to see people for what they are. That's you know what I'm saying. Honestly, this is a perfect example of the thing that's going on with Tyla. We seeing her for who she is. That's why we not rocking with her. That's why she ain't selling. But even for our own artists, some of the artists that she listed, they not, you know what I'm saying, or some of the people, not even the ones that she listed necessarily, but some of these artists aren't coming up because of their own egregious actions. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. We see, you know what I'm saying, the man have not been as egregious as some of the shit that Tyla did or in that same field, but it's still not a good look. You know what I'm saying? You done done some shit that has put a bad taste in people's mouth, and that's what I thought about when she brought up Baby Tate, because I got a video reacting to Baby Tate, and she's talking about how fathers don't deserve a Father's Day and like a lot of anti-black male rhetoric. That shit put a bad taste in my mouth. That was like 2 years ago I did that video. I ain't listened to that. I've never even touched. Every time she come up my timeline, I scroll past. I'm not even interested in listening to nothing she got to say, because that's an egregious perspective to have. Why the fuck would I want to listen to your music? So I'm sure I'm not the only person, okay, that has seen that, even if you don't want to use her, but her or other people do certain things like that. And it's like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to fall back because I'm not feeling your behavior. Chloe Bailey got some shit going on with DDG right now. The whole domestic violence. She lying. She crazy. She keeping the kid from him. She not. That puts a bad taste in people's mouth. I'm good. I'm going to stay away. Your brand, your shit looking egregious. I'm going back up on
it. Plus, she took most of her time to do acting. Next thing you know, she in multiple movies. When's the last time? You know, so if you spend that time talking about, we don't support her, she was just in a movie that did crazy numbers, by the way. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna go there, talk about she doesn't get support, actually she does. Even with the thing with Chloe. And first off, I don't like the narrative that people wanted them to split up. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah,
that
nobody
people
wanted
begged
that.
them to split up. Most of the commentary I saw when they did separate was that was a mistake, and they were too early in their career to have split up like that. Okay.
Right.
So that's what we were saying. And then Chloe, she kind of did some stuff where it was like a little bit cringy, sexy type thing. And people weren't feeling that, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, there's multiple reasons why. And then Chloe, wasn't you just seen with Burna Boy?
Yeah,
wasn't y'all like low-key in a relationship or dating or on some what was up with that? Now, if Burna Boy was as popping as y'all keep saying Burna Boy is, because let them tell it, Burna Boy is the African Michael Jackson. So if Burna Boy is popping like that, then Chloe should be right there, because Burna Boy gave the cosign. If Burna Boy is like that. And speaking of, we want to see y'all blow this up, blow this up, blow this up. We don't got to blow nobody up. We don't have to blow nobody up. We don't operate. First off, because we already got points on the board. We already have a Beyonce. We already have a Michael Jackson. We already have these people. Okay. We already got Black American worldwide phenomenons. Okay. I think Chris Brown is doing a crazy record-breaking tour right now. We already have people doing stuff like that. We already have a Kendrick Lamar. We already have a SZA. We already have these people. We don't need to blow everybody up.
Yeah, that's a fact, and that's again, but that's something that these people have to carve out. Like they're literally it almost seems like you have to actively warp your reality in order for you to believe some of the lies that they are projecting. You have to. Like, there's no way that you're living in you're seeing the same things the way I'm seeing it, and still coming to these egregious as resolutions or thought processes afterwards. These people are they're lying to themselves. They know exactly what's going
on. And this is one thing, because I keep saying this is the last thing.
The reason why
all of this is about the quote unquote diaspora.
Always Black diaspora wars on TikTok, and when I say Black diaspora, I mean Black Americans versus insert country.
Is that most of the people that you're seeing right now, all of them got British accents. These are people who all got British accents. A lot of these commentators are people who are either from the UK or live in the UK. Well, not all of them. But I'm wondering, like, why is the UK involved in this conversation at all? But because they feel a closer connection to Africa than they do to Black Americans. All right. So this is an example of what we're talking about when we say that the whole diaspora dogpiles Black Americans. They're not even involved. Nobody's talking about them. Nobody's bringing them up. And they're running to the defense of what they feel like is their fellow African. Okay, whether they're South African or not, they're running to their defense because they see it as Africa versus Black America. That's how they see it.
Yep.
The reason why there's always Black diaspora wars on TikTok, and when I say Black diaspora, I mean Black Americans versus insert country in the Black diaspora here, because that's what it always is. Like last week, it was Black Americans versus Africans in America. They had beef with Africans in America 2 weeks ago. They were going to do a boycott. Before that, it was Black Americans versus Black Brits, and now it's Black Americans versus South Africans. But the common denominator is Black Americans, and people are getting mad at Black Americans, and I don't believe it's their fault. The ones that know and understand don't need to listen to this. But if you're confused as to why it seems that the diaspora is coming for you, I'm going to break down why it is that way, okay? So basically, America has taught Americans to believe that America is the center of the world, and that is a fact. I live in America. I cannot tell you what's going on. Every time my mom calls me, she's like, wasn't it on the news? Wasn't it? What? Don't you know what's going on in England? Wasn't it on the news? I'm like, no, mum, because America does not show me English news. America don't care about English news. America don't even care about American news. America just shows me what's going on in LA. Literally, I don't even know what's going on in Texas or other states. Like, America is too big. They care about themselves. I have a joke where I say, America is the Florida of the world. Americans will get this. That's how, you see how Americans think Florida is? That's how the world thinks America is. And so essentially, we look at America, the rest of the world looks at America, and they think that America is stupid because America acts like America is the be all and end all. But the rest of the world know that it isn't. And so by default, Black Americans may think that way. Not only that, Black Americans are aware that their Black American culture has been exported all over the world and is aware that the whole world has their eyes on them. And again, if you're in a country and you're aware that the whole world has their eyes on you, but you aren't aware of any of them, you're going to believe subconsciously or consciously that it's because you are the best or you are better. And it's not necessarily true. It's actually because you're the most popular. So like America is like, you know, the kid in school, yeah, there's a kid in school and he's popular, but he thinks he's popular because he's good at maths or he's good at science or he can do cartwheels or he's really funny.
We're not going to put the whole thing because he goes on this rant is like 8 damn minutes. It's 8 minutes. I just wanted to play a few minutes of it, but we ain't gonna sit here for no whole 5 minutes while she's
for that.
Going on this walk now.
He's the only
we got
kid in school with a pool, and
everybody
everybody wants to use this pool. That's what America is.
Like, okay, but I think we got it. I think we got the point. Yeah, I think we got what she was saying.
Lord, you know what? I did get what the hell she was saying because she said America is the Florida of the world. I'm like, what? I'm confused because am I tripping? Like, niggas ain't fighting to go to get to Florida. Am I tripping? Like,
no,
I'm like, who is?
Everybody looks at Florida as weird.
I'm like, who is? I'm like, nobody's dying to get to Florida. So, but y'all are dying to get here. Like, y'all fleeing. Y'all doing whatever the fuck y'all need to do to get over here. So I'm trying to figure out.
Backstabbing. Come on now. They breaking the bank.
Yeah.
And they breaking the law. They breaking the bank and the law.
I'm just saying. I mean, y'all doing a whole lot to get to a place that's deemed as not really wanting to vacate. People don't really want to come visit. But we're the Florida of the world. We're just self-centered. That doesn't really make sense.
Can I ask you a question? It might seem a little ridiculous, but let me ask you this question. Were they not just earlier this year telling us we need to protest against ICE because of Black immigrants getting deported?
Right.
We're maybe my memory's a little bit kind of jumbled up or whatever, but weren't they saying, hold on, there are Black immigrants, y'all. There are Black immigrants. ICE affects Black people. Okay, so y'all don't like America. Y'all view America as weird and we're self-centered and we're Florida and we're odd.
Right.
But yet y'all want us to fight for your right to stay here. Okay. Oh, that's how it works. That's how it works.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm like, that's what I'm like, what do we like? I get it. That's what I'm like, the logic. They have to force themselves in some sort of warped reality because that logic, the way that she was trying to make that out, it doesn't make sense. Like we are, and you know, it's funny because I've referred to Black Americans as the popular kids, but her trying to demonize that and act like, oh well, yeah, so yeah, the popular kid, you know, they're just self-centered and you know they're just known for being good at like that one thing, you know, being whether it's math or science and and it's like I don't know where she was about to land that point at. I guess I'm assuming it was somewhere in the midst of like us bringing it back to us being self-centered and just thinking about ourselves and thinking everybody's just watching us. But the thing about it is us being the popular kids, the thing about the popular kid, one of the main reasons why the popular kid is the popular kid is because they are the example. They are the example. They are the one they're the glue that holds everybody together. They're the one that cares for the most people. They do the most for people. They lead people. That's why they're the popular person, or they're the popular group. They're usually the influence of the school. So that's the part that she didn't want to focus on. She wanted to put it on. I don't know what type of narcissistic spin she was about to put on it, but that's why we're the popular kids. Because yes, y'all do look to us for fashion, for trends, for music, for damn near every part of the culture that you like. You are looking towards foundational Black Americans. So just be honest about that. You don't want to be honest about that. You want to lie and act like, oh, well, y'all are in similar predicaments. Oh, well, yeah, we're just worried about ourselves, or we're not as consumed with your call. It was like, no, and let me move over for a second, because don't insult us like we're just that thick. Oh, yeah, well, I'm in LA and I just see what's going on locally. No, nigga, we got the internet. The news, we know what's going on. We know what's going on inside other countries right now, the Congo and Palestine, and we understand what's going on in other countries. That's not, maybe your dumb ass can't find no other news, but that's you. You don't represent Black America. You're not even a Black American. Foundational Black Americans, that is a part of our culture, to grow up looking at the news, look at what's going on around the world. My father we used to ride around the car just listening to news. He used to blow the shit out of me, riding around listening to the news on the radio. What the fuck are we listening to? Used to blow me. But he still does that. That's something that a lot of older foundational Black Americans do. They listen to the news as soon as they wake up in the fucking morning, like literally. So that's a part of our culture, to know what's going on in not just America, but what's going on in the world. The Final Call, a foundational Black American organization. That's I'm sorry, not organization. The Nation of Islam. The Final Call that comes from the Nation of Islam. They talk about worldwide news. That's something that's made every month. They update their news every month, and it's worldwide. It's not just what's happening in Black America, and that's a Black American centered religion. So religious group. So what do we talk? You know what I'm saying? What do we like? Don't try to insult us. Like, oh, I know why you Negroes are dumb. You just don't have the available resources. Nobody's telling you we know what's going on. We're just worried about what's going on right here, what's going on right in front of us, because that's what we have to prioritize. That don't mean that we just ignorant to what's going on in your country. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try to act like we the dumb Negroes of the group, so we just the run of the group. Don't do that. That's why she was trying to make it, trying to lay it out to be in a subtle way.
There, yes, you're 100% correct. First off, as foundational Black American culture, our damn family, they be watching the news like that's their favorite program.
Come on,
they be turning it on, be all like, "Damn, I missed the 11 o'clock. Oh my god, man, now I gotta wait to 12. We don't know what happened." You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to miss an episode. The thing is that when you are in America, and this is what y'all don't understand, because y'all don't know, they don't understand, they don't get it. Okay, America is humongous in comparison to where they're from. Okay, so their news can cover the whole England. Okay, some of our states are damn near the size of their countries. Okay, we got a couple of states in America are about the size of their countries in these other places. Let's be honest. Okay, even the population. Okay, so if you're in LA, you're gonna find out what's going on in California. You're not gonna try to figure out what the weather is in New York, because that doesn't affect you.
Right.
Okay, you're in a very big place, so the news needs to be focused on this region. Okay, that's the region it needs to be focused on. And there's other news channels that focus on nationwide situations and then worldwide situations. But yeah, when you talk about the local news, yes, the local news is going to be about whatever state or city you're from, because if somebody's trying to figure out what's going on in their city, they don't care about what's going on in several states across the nation.
Exactly.
Okay. So yeah, our news chops it up and categorizes it that way. Now they don't understand that, because they only have one news, because their whole country is about the size of Texas.
Right. No bad. That's and if it's even that damn big, but that's a fact. Absolutely. Yeah, and you know what? But even just to add on another layer as well, a part of the reason why we're not as concerned with other countries, what's going on in other countries, because our main priority is here. We're not in the UK, where my family moved here a generation ago, and now most of my family is really back in Ghana. but a couple generations in here, but I still want to know what's going on in Ghana because I want to retire in Ghana. Or I want to go visit there every month or two. Or I want to make sure my family is good. Like, we don't have those same connections. I don't have family in another country that I'm so concerned about, and I need to know what's going on. I need to know updates. That's not, no, you know what I'm saying? Whereas people here in other countries who are not on their homeland, who are not in their homeland, they have that. She's from the UK. So of course you're trying to figure out what's going on in the UK because your family is over there. Your mother's over there. So of course you will want to know, you want to keep up with what's going on over there, but you're just going to have to do your due diligence to find out what's going on. You got to download a UK app, whatever the case may be, download a news app, a news app that does internet, that covers international news, whatever the case, there's a way for you to find out. But Black Americans don't have that same experience of trying to participate in that due diligence because we don't have those same concerns. We don't have those same personal connections to these other lands. Whereas like we need to know, it's a priority for us to find out what's going on right now because somebody we know may be affected. It's not the same.
That's a good point. I mean, yeah, and if it was that way, we would let our news stations know that they need to also broadcast or inform us on world issues or whatever the case is. To be honest, there's a lot of people who get upset, be all like, I'm so sick of hearing about Gaza. I'm so sick of hearing about UK and what they got going on, because a lot of us are concerned with this country and what's going on in our country, our state, and our city, as far as the news is concerned. And then a lot of people get their news from the internet anyway. And you can find something out anyway from the internet. You can download Al Jazeera or whatever the case is and get all your world news from that. Literally. Another thing she said that bothered me was the whole, it's Black Americans, we're the common denominator, and it's us versus South Africans. It's us versus Africans in America. It's us versus Black Brits. It's us versus this. It's like we are, what she's implying is, and I'm sure she was going to get to that later on, but what she was implying is that we are the villain in the situation. We're the issue in the situation. Now that makes me take a step back and say, okay, so you guys get along then. So you mean to tell me that y'all get along? So we're the problem. So take us out the picture and y'all just this Pan-African paradise. Because that's not what we see. We see tribal beefs and wars going all around the damn continent.
Yep.
You got the Haitians that can't stand the Dominicans. There's a beef going on with the Haitians and the Dominicans and all around the Caribbean. Okay, you got people in Africa today in 2025 protesting because they don't want other Africans coming to their land. There's several protests. You got people banning Nigerians in particular, okay, South Africa, Ghana, because they don't like all of this mass immigration. So there's a whole bunch of feuds and fights and tribal wars from the top to the bottom and everywhere in between in Africa, while you trying to make it seem like everybody is getting along. If it wasn't for us, we are the ones who got an issue with everybody. Yeah, that's not true.
It's not. And again, that's a projection because they know they are the main ones. It's crazy. They really trying to play reverse psychology on our asses because the stuff that they're trying to say that we are or that we do, that's exactly what they are. Y'all literally have the most back and forths out of anybody outside of us. We don't participate in these diaspora wars as they're trying to make it out to be. We don't even know as much. Just like the girl, we're so thick and so self-centered, worried about what's going on over here. We don't have time to be worried about y'all stereotypes, your little things that we don't like. Like the only way we really encounter that is if you're here. And then, you know what I'm saying, we know what the things that we do and do not like. You know what I'm saying, that when we encounter y'all. But outside of that, we don't know what Dominicans and Haitians and Ghanaians, we don't know what some of these groups do that we don't like or we're not fond of, we don't agree with, we're not in alignment with. We don't know. But somebody that's a Dominican and a Haitian who's on the same island, who's right beside each other, especially with the historical back and forth they had, that their groups of people has been that they have as a people on that land. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? The stereotypes, the prejudice, the things that they have built up that their ancestors may have had back and forth. It's not the same. I'm not going to feel the same way about a Haitian or Dominican as a Haitian or Dominican would feel about each other. It's not the same. It's not the same as two countries who are right beside each other, or even tribes. If you want to go back to Africa, it's not the same as two tribes. We don't know what that other tribe, we're not that in close proximity. The most I can tell you is what I don't like about a northerner, what I don't like about a southerner, what I don't like about the niggas in the West Coast. That's the most I can tell you. Because I don't know about some of the behaviors and culture, like other than stuff that I've read in books, the things that I've had to do my own due diligence to learn. But as far as personal things, something for me not to like you personally or not to like your culture, that's something I would have to be around you for. And we're not around them like that, but y'all are. Y'all are experiencing some of the same things. Y'all are taking, it's different countries in Africa who are all coming together or meeting up with each other when y'all get to the UK. Y'all learn certain things. Y'all have different interactions with it. We don't do that. It's not the same. So we can't even be centered in the African diaspora as they want us to be. We can't. We don't have an opportunity to go on y'all. Like, come on, with the way, first of all, the way that Black Americans be joining on niggas, the way we frying, cooking niggas up, we would have a whole lot more to say if we knew more about these niggas' cultures. Okay, if we knew a little bit more about some of the degenerate things they partake in. Oh, trust me, if you thought we were xenophobic, nigga, we will be going in on y'all asses. We don't know. We're not around y'all like that. Especially those of us who are in highly populated foundational Black American neighborhoods or in communities in the South, we are not really populated at. We don't even got nothing on you. We even got no ammo for you for real. We just gotta go off what we see. But y'all, I mean, hey, they be knowing each other's secrets. These Caribbeans, these Africans, they be knowing what exactly who the bullshit they got on each other. They know exactly what degenerate parts of their community they can pick at for one another. They know.
Right. They have reason. Okay. What we're stating is that we're tired of people acting a certain way. They make it seem like it's our turn to fight with you. It's our turn to fight with you. It's our turn to fight with you. No, we're having this issue with everybody. We're saying, you know what, everybody, all of y'all been tripping. All of them have been tripping. Okay. And another thing, when she brings up Black Americans have an issue with the UK, I'm be honest with you, the UK, y'all niggas is not really thought of like that. I'm just and it's so mean to say, but even when people talk about the whole African diaspora, y'all like the afterthought, like, oh yeah, we do got the UK niggas over there. No, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, y'all really be making yourselves out to be like a bigger factor in our minds than we are. Y'all talk about us a lot.
That's a fact.
We not be talking about y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. If we got some issues with some people on the continent of Africa, in the Caribbean, and we got to keep reminding ourselves that y'all exist over there. Yeah. No offense, but y'all, I mean, I ain't trying to be like that, but that is what it is. Y'all is not no big factor in our minds like that. Like, oh, they hating on us. We like, there's Black people in the UK. We get surprised, like, oh yeah, there is Black people in the UK. I keep forgetting about y'all niggas. Like that. Yeah. That's how it is. Okay. The issue is, notice the issue that we have with everybody is the people who come here. It's not like we're going to Africa and having an issue with them there. Okay. It's not like we're having an issue overseas. No, everybody we have an issue with is here, is coming over here.
Right.
And is acting a certain way here when they get here that we have an issue with. So no, we're not the common denominator. Y'all are, because you're sitting up there defending them because y'all all see yourselves as Black immigrants. Y'all see yourselves as immigrants, and you guys have an allegiance to being an immigrant first over being Black first. So you guys will automatically have this bias towards immigrants against us because we're not immigrants.
Yep. That's a fact.
So you just finish drinking your tea and crumpet and all of that stuff. You sounded like Harry Potter. All right. But yeah, this we're debunking a lot of the lies going on. A lot of these lies going on. Okay. Yeah. And they're trying to flip it. Notice all of them, they're not taking any accountability or anything, trying to understand to any degree. All of them are trying to flip it and make it seem like we've been the bad guys the whole time. And we're self-absorbed. Even though they come over here. And then they try to cosplay us. It's not like they're coming over here not doing what we're doing. They're coming over here doing what we're doing. Okay. Yeah. Talk about some cultural appropriation. You don't look like you from South Africa. You don't look like you from the Caribbean. That woman over there, she was all like, yeah, I took the Caribbean bio out my flag. Nobody.
Girl.
Okay. Froze up a little bit for me.
Yeah, I thought it was just me. That's why I looked down for a second. I was about to pull it up.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. But anyway, they're doing that because they want to be like us. Yeah. As you said, we're the popular kids, and you're not gonna because the thing is that we didn't do nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being a popular kid. Mm-hmm. Okay, we've been trying to make it seem like we're all the same, and no, we are the popular kids. It is what it is.
We are. No bad.
It is what it is.
It just is what it is, for real.
And now we're starting to understand why you guys are just because we're starting to understand where this animosity and jealousy comes from, because we've never really tried to put ourselves in a position of being a popular kids. It was just something that happened. Mm-hmm, and we've never bragged about being the popular kids. Okay. Mm-hmm. But you all have always seen us as the popular kids. So that built up a lot of animosity and jealousy and spite for us, which is why there's this one-sided rivalry that a lot of you guys have with us. That's why when we look like, damn, I mean, what the why y'all trying to beat me all the time? Because you guys have been looking at it like y'all been the popular kids. It's my turn to beat y'all. That's how y'all have been looking at us like, and we're finally coming to the realization that that's how you guys see the situation.
Yeah. It's harsh reality, but it is what it is, baby. Because we got to get this delineation popping. So yeah, got to take it for what it is.
Yes, indeed. You guys make sure that you guys subscribe here. Okay, we had a pretty good afternoon live. All right, y'all have a good rest of y'all weekend. But you guys definitely need to follow us on our various social media platforms. That's what y'all need to do. That's what y'all really need to do.
Oh, you should read the super chat before you leave too.
Yeah. Let me get to that. Okay. Max Zine sends a super sticker. Thank you very much. Maurice. It's weird. I'm scrolling down on the wrong thing. He says, he quote, "No, I'm black. Me no black. I'm colored." Okay. Buy my music. Okay, that's how they be. Me no black. I'm colored. Okay, you could be colored and have your colored audience support you. That says, keep putting on for the culture. Love from Memphis. Shout out to Memphis, man. Shout out to Memphis. All right. Memphis. Sister Nisi says, Afro, did you get some sleep last night? I did. I get some sleep. We was up late last night. I told you we was gonna get it done, and we got it done. I was up late last night. She says, "Hey, Zizi, hey."
Peace, Denise.
And then we got another one. Y'all, it says, y'all looking in y'all eyewear, fellow four eyes. Yep, we both got to go. We're on the same frequency right now. Okay, you get it. So everybody in the chat room, we're gonna turn everybody in the chat. Everybody gonna be wearing glasses at one point in time. Okay, everybody gonna be. They be all like, hold on, y'all gonna buy glasses just to watch, just so y'all can feel connected.
Nah, for real.
That's cool though. That's cool. Thing is, we don't actually need glasses. That's the thing.
We don't. We actually don't. Neither one of us.
Don't tell nobody. But we just look good in them, so that's why.
Hey, look. Hey, come on.
All right. But Zizi, where can they find you?
They can find me on at ZZ Rants on YouTube, on TikTok, X, Instagram. Yeah, all that. ZZ Rants, baby.
All right. Y'all follow me, Afrolead, on Instagram, and Twitter. All that, and TikTok. Y'all definitely, because we be on this channel in particular, we be really popping on TikTok. So y'all make sure y'all follow us on that, so that way you guys keep up with all of our lives and all of our videos and everything we do on there. All right.
4-eye booty snatches is crazy. I think they missed scratch. That's insane.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all. Look, I want y'all to understand, they've already said it. It's something we already know. We the popular kids, and it's okay. And now it's time for us to wear that in pride. Now we're gonna wear being a popular kid in a little bit of pride. Y'all said it, not us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's how y'all feel. Let's do that then. Let's be that then.
No bad.
Okay, we ain't been self-centered enough. Let me tell it.
Yeah, right. We're gonna show you. You want to see self-centered? I got something, boy. You gonna see.
All right, Black First family, y'all have a good rest of y'all weekend. Appreciate y'all for watching and subscribing, liking, all of that stuff. Make sure before y'all go that y'all leave a like. Make sure y'all leave a like. We had a lot of people up in here. Make sure y'all leave a like. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. All right.
And leave a comment.
Oh, yes, indeed. All right. That being said, Black First family.
Be one.